Back with India Market Open right here on NDTV Profit. Bajaj Auto numbers May was a flattish number, but rural peers of theirs as well as the premium peer degrew too. So it was a month which is very different than what the previous few months might have been. What about the month and about the year thus far, and what about the outlook ahead on the back of we now having a new government in place? Mr. Rakesh Sharma, Executive Director at Bajaj Auto, joins us right now on the show. Mr. Sharma, good having you. Thanks so much for joining in. Maybe I'll get to the minutiae in a bit. I just want to understand whether you believe that growth per se, with the new government now being in place, the election code of conduct out of the way, do you believe growth can come back, or was growth independent of what was happening due to the election proceedings and the code of conduct, so on and so forth?
Good morning. Well, for the last few months, perhaps 4 to 6 months, growth has been quite on track, and it's secular to these issues, apart from the fact that things like elections do cause interruptions in terms of, closures and movement, etc. Very temporary interruptions. But on the fundamentally, the growth has come back on the basis of the economy being far more inclusive in its recovery to reach even the, our customers who, if I must remind you, earn between 30 to, bulk of them earn between 30 to 50,000 rupees per month. It is that category of customers. These people have started coming back to the purchase cycle. And the long drawn election was a little bit of interruption here or there.
Okay. So the flattish May numbers was a reason of a lot of those factors as well, or were there other reasons? I mean, of course, it's not just for you. I mean, for some of your peers, actually, there was degrowth as well.
Yeah, so the May industry has to be understood on the basis of, the marriage season, which is like a mini season up in north and little parts of west and east. That is this year been very highly concentrated in the month of April. Ordinarily, last few years, it is generally spread between April and June. So therefore, and that tends to really polarize consumption. Secondly, that also coincided with some of the regional level festivals like in the West, Ugadi, etc. So this combination really pushed up the retails of April compared to the retails of April last year. And you had a big spike. So if you take April and May together, the industry is in double-digit growth. I would say that June, you'll again see some kind of base effect again operating over there, because all the marriages are over, and last year they were still continuing in June. But if you put April, May, and June, the first quarter together, then probably we will see the underlying growth of 7 to 8%, which has been there in Q4, continuing in Q1. That, I would say, is the underlying growth. And we, of course, are growing faster than that, particularly in the top half of the industry.
What about the export element added here? I mean, the 4% growth in May, I reckon, was all on the back of a 10% fall in May last year. But April, if I'm not wrong, as I read out the numbers, was about an 18% growth. How do you see that piece shaping up, Mr. Sharma?
The exports has been on a recovery path. And again, the numbers hide the story of the recovery, because LATAM has very nicely come back and as having growth. 25% of our business comes from LATAM. Most parts of Asia are doing better than last year, particularly the ASEAN end, which is Philippines, etc. Though I would say Bangladesh is still soft. Sri Lanka was a little bit down last year, but even so, it is performing better than that. Nepal has come. The Middle East, despite all its geopolitical issues, is improving as we speak. In Africa, I would say, which is about 45% of our business, the big drawdown is still Nigeria. So if I were to, we operate in about 100 countries, and of that, about 30 to 40 are very, very meaningful countries. Out of those 40, I would say, apart from four or five, almost all are in the recovery path. Now, the issue is that the Nigeria, which is our largest market, where we hold a 56% market share, that is still lagging behind, though there was some progress in May, but it is way below its peak. Like we used to sell 50,000 units per month in Nigeria. Last month we sold 17,000. So then, and we had dropped down to as much as low as 5,000 units. So there is a recovery, but till the time Nigeria doesn't really come back to its old levels, you will see the overall export growth still muted. But having said that, I think we have a lot of satisfaction in the fact that some of the markets where our premium end products are going, for example, Latin America, we are even experiencing, growth of 20 to 25% in our Pulsar and Dominar range over there. So if you look at a volumetric basis, yes, it is very muted, but on a value basis and particularly margin basis, it is now a very robust improvement over last year.
And you reckon we'll continue to do so as well, I presume,
I think
right?
so.
Yeah,
I think, I think it should, but we have to wait and watch how Nigeria, Kenya, Congo, these 3, 4 countries, how they do.
Yeah. One question on a few products, right? Pulsar 400, I mean, has it reached the dealers? What's your response thereof? And also the CNG motorcycle, right? Coming back, launching soon. And it's, I was speaking to my colleague Puneet, who tracks your company very closely. He's talking about how this is a very important launch, according to him, for Bajaj Auto. And you're getting an EV one as well. Can you talk to a bit about the new and the exciting stuff, if you will, at your end?
Yeah, there is a whole lot of exciting stuff there because our product pipeline driven by our R&D is really, really thrusting forward. You're very right. The NS400Z was a very good launch. We are aiming it at the top end of the street motorcycles. As you know, that market is still limited, and it is our effort by bringing in these products which are far more affordable and accessible with absolutely no compromise on performance and features, etc. We will be able to provoke the Indian consumer into upgrading and getting on top of some of these magnificent bikes, and it's really a category development effort. It is also very important for us because it has a halo effect on the whole Pulsar brand, and it seizes the leadership value in the Pulsar brand. The dispatches should start reaching the dealers within a few days now, if I may say so. And but we've got a very healthy rate of bookings. Already, I think they've crossed 1,500 units or so. So everyone is really waiting, and you can see some of our social handles where there's a lot of air of expectancy. But yes, the big one, not just from a Bajaj Auto point of view, but I think if things work out right, it could be an industry redefining moment, which will happen on 17th of July, which is when we unveil our CNG-based motorcycle. It is aimed at, the bottom 50% of the Indian market. So you know that Indian motorcycle industry is almost, 1 million a month, and the bottom 50%, 500,000, and then there is some scooters also. This is a very economy conscious segment. People want, like I said, generally our customers are between 30 to 50,000 rupees per month, but this customer is mostly centered around 30 to 35,000 rupees per month. So any saving in fuel costs, and fuel is in the top 5 expenditure items of a family in that segment. So with CNG, our proposition is to really halve their expenditure over here, which we feel should be very, very attractive. It's a bike which is not apologetic about it being, saving operation OPEX, but it's got a standout style. We have brought to bear all our learnings of this segment, whether it is comfort, whether it is ergonomics, etc., into it. So yes, so we are really looking forward to that launch. And on electric, we have, you referred to that. Just last week, we have introduced our most affordable Chetak. Chetak has been on ever since supply chain fell into place. Chetak has been progressing very, very well. And we just expanded its portfolio by bringing in the most affordable Chetak, which is priced between 95,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees, and which is a great value proposition for people to move from ICE scooters to electric scooters. So that's already, as we speak, going to all our dealers.
Noted. Mr. Sharma, all the best for the exciting times, and maybe around some of those very exciting launches, industry-defining launches, if you will. Would love to talk to you again. But thanks for your time today.